Hi, this is Kathi Quinn with Floriani. Floriani is a division of R&K Distributing, and I want to welcome you to this week's Project of the Week. We have been looking at the new features in the new update that we released in March of this year. And the last 3 weeks, we've been going through these features one at a time. Well, this week we're going to look at another brand new feature, and it has to do with our knife tools, our slicing tools. Now, you can only slice artwork. You cannot slice a design. You can split a design with our splitting wizard, so we can cut a design up into multiple hoopings, but you cannot slice it with a knife. That's only available for artwork. So I came into my artwork folder here, and I moved down here, and I picked this pear. You know, we're always picking apples. I picked that hearts a lot. So I thought we'd give the pear a shot. So I selected the pear and brought it on screen. Let me fit that back to screen. So there's our pear. Now we have 5 options in your knife slice. 3 of them have been available, and we've added 2 more. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want 5 pears because I think we need to look at all of these options. So I'm going to come up here to my repeat design, and I'm going to tell it I want 5 across and 1 down. That way I don't have to copy and paste 5 times. So I'm going to say okay, and there's my pears. All right, so we're going to take our first pear, and I'll change its color just so if we need to select it for something else, we can see it. Now here's my first pear. Now when I select one of these artwork objects, you can see my knife is available. So I'm going, let me select that pear again because I didn't look at the options there. There we go. So now the first thing I'm going to do is just slice the pear. So notice I can left mouse click, and I can slice it multiple times if I want. So I've given it 3 chops, 1, 2, 3, 4 actually, and I'm going to right mouse click. So now you can see each set of options, each slices I've done. So there's 1. Here's 2, and let's pull this apart. Now these are 4 pieces of vector artwork. I sliced up the pear to get it. Sometimes you might want to slice out just a piece to use for something else. I may not want a pear, I might want those 2 leaves. Or they look like bunny ears. Maybe I wanted bunny ears, so I like the way that this artwork was done. So there's lots of reasons to be able to slice. Now that it's sliced, these are actually 4 separate objects now. So let's pick the top bunny ears. I'll make them a fill. Let's pick the next one. I'll make it a motif fill. Let's pick this next one. I'm going to make it a wave fill. Let's pick this last one. I'm going to make it a run stitch. So you can see I have 4 separate objects, and they were all closed, so I had 4 completely separate closed objects. Okay, let's go to our next pair. Let's get our knife slice, and the next knife slice is cool. It's an object slice, and it's closed, but do you see the magnet? This is pretty cool. If I wanted to use a grid to cut something, wanted to cut just a good section, I want you to notice this hangs on to the edge. No matter where my knife is, you see my little moving part? It is stuck to the edge of this. So I'm going to left mouse click, right mouse click. Now you can see I just pretty much sliced off the little ears. And again, I have 2 separate closed objects. There's no opening, they're separately closed. Now let's get our third one. Let's go back to our knife tool. Now the next one is an open slice path. These are closed. So let's go ahead, left, left, and again I could cut this up several times, but let's right mouse click. Now it's not obvious, is it? I'm going to now select, and you can see I have an open. It didn't close it up like these did. It's an open piece of artwork. So let's go to the next one. Now we're going to look at new tools. And look, we gave it its own category. Before, the knife was included in the shape. Now it's got its own category. It's moved up. Now this next one is a gap slice. This is pretty cool. I'm going to slice this right here. Left mouse click, right mouse click. And you notice it's put a gap. Now here, I've got my offset in inches, so I have 1/2 inch gap in here. But I can still see that this is a pear. It stays with the curve of the shape. Whereas when you slice it with a close slice and you pull it apart, it doesn't keep the nice same shape. This is great. Maybe I wanted to put a name in here, applique, whatever, but I can change the size of this gap, all that I want. Now I can make it bigger. I can make it a 1-inch gap. I can play, but I've gapped it. Okay, so let's go again to 0.12, apply, and there we go. And I'm sorry, 0.12 is not 1/2 inch. 0.12 is about, it's about 3 millimeters of an inch. Okay, so you can see, okay, and you can see there's that little gap. So now this is a gap slice, so I can add that gap in, and it looks so much nicer if I'm going to put a name or something in here than using the open slice. Now let's look at our last option. Let's select our last pair. Let's go to our knife tool, and now I have overlap slice path. Now instead of making a gap, it's going to make an overlap. And that's nice if you're cutting vinyl. Maybe if you're cutting some applique pieces that you want to just kind of overlap a little bit with one row, you know, to make sure you're not just working with the edges. I'm going to left mouse click, right mouse click. Now you can see in here, see how it kind of shows me the delineation of the overlap? Okay, so now I'm going to say OK. And I can't see it here because it's overlapped. But look what happens. Let's change the color of this. And let's come up here at the top and change the color of that. And I want some drama here. So let me get some drama. Now notice what happens. I'm going to zoom in so you can see good. And now when I move this, I can move it from there. Oh, I zoomed in too much. Let's see if I can make it. Let's just grab this part. Come on, baby, move for me. Yeah, don't you know it? It only does it on these videos. Here we go. Let's select this bottom part. Let's pull it down. And then, let me zoom in a little bit here. Let's see if I can make this a little better. Okay, let's undo. And now, let me see if I can just pull this down in here. There we go. Now you can see the overlap as I pull it down. See that overlap? Right there, you've got it. So that is the overlap. I see this more, I mean, of course in embroidery, if I was going to put maybe a fill and I want a satin stitch over the top part of the fill so when it pulls, it doesn't pull away. But I mostly see this as fun for vinyl. I see this a lot with our cutting. Now again, this is already artwork. So if we wanted to turn it into stitches, then we select the pieces of our artwork and we come down and play with our stitches. Way cool stuff. And this is just another new fun thing in Floriani Total Control. Since these are all cut files, that is so cool. And just think of how you can cut pieces. Think of these different shapes where I could cut pieces that I might need. Um, I might want to take these 3 drops and get rid of the top. I could just cut it off. I can cut stuff in half to use part of it. Uh, so much fun. I mean, I could cut this fish and slice this fish, move the tail way over, and say go fishing in between. Just think of all the things. But again, what do I tell you about this? Play. Come in and play. I want just a skull. I don't want the crossbones. Well, don't worry. I could just slice those out and fling them off and then play with what I have left. I can split this star, put my granddaughter's name. So just look in here, start playing, play with this stuff. That's how you learn. That's how you find new things, make new discoveries. And when you find something new and exciting, don't forget to post it on our Facebook page. Look what I did in my software. Look what I created using some tools in my software. It's really encouraging, especially at this time when we're not all getting together. When you put up something you've learned on Facebook for our other customers that are meeting us in the same place. Hey, that was a great idea how she sliced that off and made bunny ears or whatever. So we look forward to seeing you again next week. Make sure to stay safe this week. I look so forward to seeing you soon again in your stores where we're having fun in the same room. Thanks for coming tonight. I look forward to seeing you again next week.